Hello students, welcome to part 2 of unit 3. Today we are going to learn about corrosion. These are the topics we are going to discuss today. Introduction and definition of corrosion, causes and effects of corrosion, theories of chemical corrosion and its mechanism, role of oxide layers and pilling Bedworth rule. Come, let us learn corrosion, the definition of corrosion. What is corrosion? Yes, it is an unintentional destruction of a solid body or a metal, most probably metal, by chemical or electrochemical reactions starting from the surface. So corrosion initially occurs at the surface of a metal. So the metals are at high energy levels and hence there is a natural tendency to go to the low energy state. That is, they try to form oxides, hydroxides, carbonates, sulfides, etc. depending on the type of the environment to which they are exposed. So if we expose iron or steel to the environment which contains the oxygen, we call air, and water, we can expect to see rust form in a short time, showing the familiar color of red brown iron oxide. So with other metals such as copper, brass, zinc, aluminium and stainless steel, we can expect corrosion to take place, but it might take much time longer to develop. So what are the causes of corrosion? Most of the metals occur in nature in the combined form such as oxides, sulfates, carbonates, nitrates, etc. They are in the ore form. So the metallic ore, that is the lower energy, they are in the stable state. And if we can extract a metal from this metallic ore, so we will get pure metal. So from the metallic ore we can extract the metal. So this process is called extraction. So the pure metal will be in the higher energy level. The reverse process, that is when the pure metal is exposed to the atmosphere, contains oxide, oxygen, water, etc. It will be back to their original state, lower energy state. Okay, so that process is called metallurgy. So why the study of corrosion is important? Because the corrosion destroys the machine and the equipment. The spare parts of the machineries will also be destroyed due to corrosion, and it reduces the efficiency. The corrosion product obtained may be contaminated and may lead to several problems including health hazards, and the corrosion may also contaminate the stored food, dairy products, etc. It causes, the corrosion products also causes pollution. So the engineering design is incomplete without the knowledge of corrosion. So we have to understand the concepts, effects of corrosion. Causes of corrosion also important before the machine is designing. Okay, and also the corrosion. If you want to learn the corrosion topic, the concepts of electrochemistry should be understood. So the corrosion can be studied only through the concepts of electrochemistry. And coming to the classification of corrosion or theories of corrosion, there are two types: dry or chemical corrosion, wet or electrochemical corrosion. So corrosion takes place by any of these two mechanisms, dry or wet corrosion. In dry corrosion, there are three types: corrosion by oxygen, or we can call it as oxidation corrosion; corrosion by other gases like sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, H2S, fluorine, etc., even chlorine also, etc., and liquid metal corrosion. In this lesson we are going to learn the mechanism of dry corrosion. So what is dry corrosion? This type of corrosion occurs mainly by the direct chemical action of the environment, that is direct attack of the atmospheric gases such as oxygen, halogens, H2S, SO2, N2 or anhydrous inorganic liquids on the metal surface which they are in contact. So in dry corrosion, first we are going to discuss about oxidation corrosion. It is brought about by the direct action of oxygen at low or high temperatures, usually in the absence of moisture. So, dry corrosion occurs in the absence of moisture, and oxidation corrosion occurs due to the presence of oxygen at high or low temperature in the absence of moisture. So, at high temperature, almost all metals are attacked by oxygen and are oxidized, except noble metals like gold, silver, and platinum. At ordinary temperature, generally all the metals are slightly attacked, and at low temperature, alkali metals like lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, and alkaline earth metals like beryllium, calcium, strontium are attacked very rapidly and get oxidized readily. These are the general dry corrosion mechanism. Pause this video for a while and go through this reaction. Mechanism of oxidation corrosion. Oxidation occurs first at the surface of the metal, and a scale of metal oxide is formed on the surface of the metal, and it acts as a barrier for the further corrosion to occur. Therefore, for oxidation to continue, either the metal ion must diffuse outwards through the scale to the surface, or the oxygen must diffuse inwards through the scale to the underlying metal. So both transfers occurs, but the outward diffusion of the metal is possible than the inward diffusion of oxygen. Since the metal ion is smaller in size than the oxide ion, therefore the metal ion has higher mobility, and the outward diffusion of metal ion from the metal through the scale to the atmosphere is possible. And the nature of oxide layer formed on the metal plays a major role in oxidation corrosion. So there are 4 types of oxide layer formed. Stable oxide layers. The oxide films on aluminium, chromium, copper are stable and they adhere to the surface. So this film acts as a barrier. This film forms a protective coating over the metal and prevents further corrosion to occur. Unstable oxide. The oxide film formed on the metal surface decomposed back into metal and oxygen. So in such cases, corrosion is not possible. Examples are the noble metal, oxides of noble metal. Volatile oxide. The metal oxide film formed gets volatilized, that gets easily evaporated. The metal oxide film get easily evaporated, and the metal surface again gets exposed for further attack, leading to continuous and rapid corrosion. And the fourth is porous layer. It contains, if the layer contains pores and cracks, in such case the atmospheric oxygen has access to the underlying metal surface through the pores or cracks of the layer. Therefore, the corrosion continues until the entire metal get converted into its oxide. Example, iron exposed to hydrogen sulfide at high temperature forms FeS porous layer. So when the oxide film is sufficiently porous so that the diffusion of cation and the anion takes place smoothly, then oxidation corrosion takes place continuously. So the Pilling-Bedworth rule describes the porous and non-porous nature of metallic oxide which is formed during corrosion. So according to this Pilling-Bedworth rule, the specific volume ratio is calculated and as follows. So the volume of metal oxide divided by volume of metal gives the specific volume ratio, which tells us about whether the metal will be protected or the metal oxide layer is porous or non-porous. If the specific volume ratio is smaller, then oxidation corrosion will take place. If the specific volume ratio is more than 1, then it will be non-porous. And coming to the corrosion by other gases like chloride, when the silver metal exposed to the chloride environment, it will form silver chloride precipitate. It forms a protective and non-protective layer on the metal surface. If the film is non-protective, it will destroy the metal. Chlorine gas attacks tin metal to form tin chloride or stannous chloride, which is volatile, and leaves the metal exposed for further attack. H2S gas attack the steel or iron or metal it will form FeS layer which is porous in nature. So corrosion will be more. And coming to the liquid metal corrosion, this type of corrosion is found in nuclear power plants. Sodium metal leads to corrosion of cadmium in nuclear reactor. Sodium metal used as a coolant in the nuclear power plant, whereas cadmium is used as a control rods. Sodium metal is taken in the form of liquid. Cadmium is taken in the form of solid. So corrosion takes place either due to the dissolution of a solid metal by the liquid metal or due to the penetration of liquid metal into the solid metal. It is due to the action of flowing liquid metal at high temperature on solid metal or alloy. Thank you, students. Thanks for listening.